Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight in the news, a well-known Lincoln figure is stepping down.
Plus, the cleanup continues in Kentucky, this time with the help of some Nebraskans.
The amount of work that needs to be done to assist the locals with being able to account for everybody, begin to aid and search, bring closure, especially when you have the collapse at the candle factory.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're going to hear more from the Nebraska Task Force 1 in just a moment. But first, we do have the latest on the tornado outbreak.
At least 88 people are dead across 5 states. 44 reported tornadoes hitting America's heartland. We're hearing some harrowing stories from survivors.
So this is where you were hiding?
Yeah, right up in that hole right there behind that pink doggy bag. That's where we was laying, and that debris had my legs trapped.
Murray hid in what was once a hallway. His home in Mayfield, Kentucky, now reduced to rubble, completely unrecognizable. His 2 friends were able to escape, but he was trapped under debris. A volunteer firefighter coming to the rescue.
I thought something else was going to drop on top of the wall and completely crush me because I was scared and I just knew I was going to die.
What does it mean to you to be able to stand here and talk to us today?
I'm thankful and blessed because it could have been worse.
More than 100 across the state are still unaccounted for. The governor saying he does expect the death toll to keep rising. President Biden planning to visit some of the hardest hit communities tomorrow, including Mayfield, Kentucky. And 2 members of Nebraska Task Force 1 were deployed over the weekend to Kentucky.
Now, these Nebraskans are working to clean up and help other task force groups across the country account for everyone who is still missing. Channel 8's Alexis Koneski has more on that story.
I mean, growing up, all of us living in Tornado Alley, we're used to tornadoes, but I think what we're not used to is the distance this travel. This is 200 and some miles of destruction, and although some of it was rural, it definitely took its toll on the populated cities. So
Brad Thavenet, a member of Nebraska Task Force 1 and the battalion chief of search and rescue for Lincoln Fire, was deployed to Kentucky within 24 hours of the natural disaster. He was activated on Saturday and arrived at the State Emergency Operations Center in Frankfort, Kentucky, early Sunday morning. Thavenet is one of 2 members of the task force that were sent to help. A captain with Omaha Fire is also there. He's about 3.5 hours southwest near Mayfield, Kentucky.
the method of collapse of the structures, we're used to a lot of roofs being blown off and trees down and stuff. Here, whole structures were taken over, and obviously whole factories, like the candle factory, was just came down in a pile of wreckage. It looks just like a mangled steel, mess.
Thavenet says he's the coordination piece of the efforts, the command element. He's working hand in hand with the state, assigning positions and telling task force members who are in the field going through the rubble where they're going next. He says this is one of the worst disasters he has seen in his 20-year career with the task force because of how spread out the devastation is. He says seeing the rubble brings back memories from his childhood.
I grew up in Grand Island in the tornadoes of 1980, so I had witnessed some of that as a kid, the destruction. So I definitely felt for all the destruction, the families, the loss.
Thavenet says he's here for the long haul and is prepared to stay as long as needed. The rest of the Nebraska Task Force is on standby should there be a need for more. Reporting in Lincoln, Alexis Koneski, Channel 8 News.
Also, 5 volunteers with the Nebraska Red Cross are also either there or on their way to Kentucky to help with the response as well.
Now let's get a check of our weather here locally. Still enjoying mild temperatures here, John.
That is right. Temperatures eking up a little higher when we talk about how much above normal per day. Now up to 9.9 degrees above normal. We hit 59 degrees this afternoon, just 1 degree shy of 60 and 3 degrees shy of, make that 2 degrees shy of the record high temperature from today of 61 degrees, an old record set back in 1888. Live view right now from Allo Communications showing you the clouds that we've got overhead. We'd mentioned that we'd see a lot of filtered sunshine today, and that has been the case. Temperatures are running just a little warmer than 24 hours ago, down to 54 degrees in Lincoln from the daytime high. 56 is what the temperature is in Beatrice, 55 in Hebron, and a little cooler as you head further north, where it's 48 degrees right now in Columbus. You can see we've got the clouds overhead right now, but we are watching a weather system that is back to the west, out towards Salt Lake City. That is going to bring some big impacts to our weather for the day tomorrow. It's going to bring a lot of wind to the area. In fact, high wind warnings are already issued for much of the Central Plains from Wednesday morning through Wednesday evening, specifically around here from 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock in the evening. And also with the high winds and dry conditions, we've got red flag warnings that are in effect for tomorrow as well, and that does include southeast Nebraska. For the rest of this evening, we will see temperatures sitting in the low 50s as we go through 10 o'clock. It's going to be a mild night tonight, but this is really one big weather story, and there's multiple chapters to it for tomorrow. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you, John. And with those high winds headed our way tomorrow, here are a few reminders to make sure you and your valuables don't get blown away.
That's right. Make sure to unplug and anchor down any outdoor decorations or furniture. Make sure you give semi-truck drivers extra space and do not drive in their blind spots. Some of those truckers may actually have to park their rigs. The winds can make it very dangerous for them and you.
If we have a semi rollover, which could happen if we have a semi out there that's not loaded, we could have to shut down the roadway. We could have to shut down 80. If that dictates that it's going to be a lot safer for the public, we will and can do that.
Remember, if you come across a downed power line, do not go near it. Immediately report it to your local electric company. Of course, here locally, that would be LES. You can do it by phone or online, as LES has crews on standby ready to make repairs if necessary.
And those high winds also make for some very dangerous fire weather. Officials say any fires that start could easily get out of control and fast. They're asking everyone to avoid burning outdoors and be extra careful when parking on grass. And there was a deadly house fire overnight in Lancaster County.
A man's body was found inside the home near Raymond. It happened around 10:30 last night near 84th and Davie. A man called to report his attic was on fire, and when crews arrived, they searched and were not able to locate the man. A short time later, the body was found.
At this time, we do not have a positive identification on the deceased. An autopsy has been scheduled for later this morning to determine cause of death and positive identification of the deceased.
The home was a total loss valued at $300,000. No official word on the cause. Investigators think that the man who called 911 is the man they found deceased, but as you heard, they are doing an autopsy to make sure. 2 dogs were rescued from the home.
And in Iowa, a massive fire overnight at a small town's only grocery store. Malvern is just southeast of Omaha. Authorities say the fire started in the back of Mulholland Grocery and quickly moved upstairs, then threatened nearby businesses. Crews from a dozen agencies helped fight the flames. The grocery store roof ended up collapsing, and now crews are keeping a close eye on the buildings next door.
The fire department's been very nice about bringing out some stuff. They were afraid some of my stuff was going to get damaged. I had some memorabilia in there. They brought it out to my computers and stuff. There's some water damage right now. As you can see, they're up on my roof right now, so I'm assuming my roof's okay. So I'm going to, which is a minor issue right now. My concern now is for the town of Malvern. We're losing a grocery store, which is a big icon in this town, and that hurts.
That's Malvern's mayor, who owns a business and lives in one of the nearby buildings. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, but the town now is under a boil order after using up its entire water supply to stop the blaze. In our local COVID update today, officials saying the number of COVID patients isn't slowing down.
When I was here last, a couple of months ago, I talked about the strain that our health system has been under since early summer. That strain continues and has only intensified. In the past month, the number of COVID cases at our hospitals has more than doubled.
Now, officials say more than 1/3 of COVID patients in Lincoln hospitals are not from Lancaster County. Also, the 7-day rolling average has fallen at or above 100 new COVID cases in the county every day. The risk dial did not change. It remains in the elevated orange high-risk area. Well, we all know that doctors and nurses have been stretched very thin over the last almost 2 years now treating COVID patients.
Yes, it's really taken a toll, and tonight a rare behind-the-scenes look. Nebraska Medicine in Omaha shadowed one of their lead COVID ICU nurses. Take a look.
Okay, hang on. Let me call you right back. I have to go into a room and I'm going to call you right back. It's a very busy day. This morning we had an intubation, put in a central line. We put in a chest tube. We had a patient whose pressures tanked. 2 ICU transfers coming, 1 from the ED and 1 from 5 West. And they changed code status and went comfort measures. It's been a long day, and now we are telling patients that we can't increase their level of care because we don't have the beds. So you're gonna send this other one up first, or what do you wanna do? I do have a pretty chipper personality. I'm overall pretty upbeat. 2 of them are maxed on Opti, setting in the 80s, and then the other one is also on Opti and then having maps in like the 50s and 60s. We didn't have any beds. There's nowhere for that patient to even go. I would just hope that no one else has to experience the things that we've been experiencing, especially lately. Like, this is the worst I've seen it in the past 6 years. Okay, hey, okay, so you have this one you're gonna send to us? Okay, let's do report here and I'll bet it. I just don't want anyone else to have to suffer. I don't want anyone else's family member or loved one to have to be in the position where we say, like, we can't help you because we don't have the resources. We physically don't have the beds, because that can't be a good feeling to hear that. And it certainly doesn't feel good when, as healthcare providers, all we want to do is help people, and we can't because we physically can't. Hey Trey, will this one cover it? We emotionally are exhausted and don't feel like we can anymore. And okay, sorry. It's hard, but I wouldn't wish this upon anyone. And so I just want people to make good decisions and be careful, because it's not fun to say goodbye to your family member garbed up with a mask on and eyewear and gloves. It's very depersonalized, and I don't want it to happen to anyone, and I'm sick of having to do it myself. We literally do not have any ICU beds. We have been running rampant up here.
A few days after UNMC shot that video, they opened more COVID units to accommodate even more seriously ill COVID patients.
But they say that reduces their capacity even further to care for patients with non-COVID related illnesses. Well, some big news tonight here in the Lincoln area. John Chapel, the CEO of the Lincoln Children's Zoo, is stepping down.
He's been the zoo's CEO for 35 years. He'll give up that title at the end of this month and take on the role of President Emeritus for 2 years, helping with the transition of a new CEO, and that will be Evan Killian. He's been the zoo's COO for about a decade. He takes over January 1st.
Now, Chapel will continue to help with strategic planning and doing media appearances and stuff like that. He's been good to us over the years, so many interviews. The Lincoln Zoo, by the way, is 18 acres, 35 full-time employees, and it has around 350,000 visitors annually, and is the largest tourist attraction in the city and the second largest in the state. Coming up, the House debating whether to hold former President Trump's chief of staff in criminal contempt of Congress.
That and your full forecast after the break.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk
Now to Washington, where the House is debating whether to hold former Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows in criminal contempt of Congress.
He's accused of refusing to fully cooperate with the committee probing the January 6th insurrection. ABC's Alex Perche has the latest.
This afternoon, the House debating whether to hold former President Trump's chief of staff in criminal contempt of Congress. Mark Meadows, they say, has knowledge of the actions of former President Donald Trump and his inner circle during the Capitol riot and has refused to answer questions about any of it.
Mr. Meadows was a colleague for more than 7 years, but that doesn't excuse his behavior.
Meadows' attorney says he never stopped cooperating. Rather, he has maintained consistently that as a former chief of staff, he cannot be compelled to appear for questioning and that he as a witness is not licensed to waive executive privilege claimed by the former president. Meadows has turned over 9,000 pages of communications, including text messages and emails on his personal cell phones. Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney reading some of those messages today. GOP lawmakers pleading with Meadows to get Trump to speak out during the attack.
The president needs to stop this ASAP. Another one, fix this now. Hours passed with no action by the president.
Other House Republicans focusing on the response to the riot.
Where was the preparation for what everyone seemed to know was coming? Why did it stop?
Meanwhile, Dustin Stockton, one of the lead organizers behind the January 6th rally held before the insurrection, was deposed today. His lawyer says Stockton turned over a slew of documents detailing actions of very senior people within the Trump circle.
Even lawmakers among them, who I believe have good reason to be quivering in their boots.
Now, if held in contempt, what's not clear is if Meadows will be prosecuted by the Department of Justice, as was the case with Steve Bannon. Now, if Meadows is held in contempt and he's convicted, he could face up to a year in prison. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Dessauer.
What a day of some mid to high level clouds. We've got some beautiful views outside right now. This is the view from Shones Roofing down in Beatrice, showing you some fantastic colors reflecting off the bottom side of those clouds that we've had through the area today. Let me take you up to Southeast Community College right now and take a look at this beautiful sunset right now, looking back off to the south and east from the east side of Lincoln. So this is looking over the top of the city, and just some gorgeous colors out there at the moment. Temperature wise, we're sitting at 54 in Lincoln. We hit a high of 59 degrees this afternoon, 56 right now in Beatrice, a little cooler as you head up towards Columbus, where it's 48 degrees, and it's 48 degrees as well in New York right now. Now tonight, we're not going to drop very much. Lows will only fall into the upper 30s to lower, middle, and upper 40s. The normal high temperature is 40 degrees, so overnight lows will only be dropping to 44. Gives you an idea it's going to be on the mild side. Winds will begin to increase by morning, gusting, I think, 20 to 25 miles per hour. Now, this is a big weather story that's going on for the next 24 to 36 hours. A lot of things coming our way, and it's all thanks to this weather system that's out towards Salt Lake City right now, and this will keep moving off to the east. So, again, this is the weather story for tomorrow. So we're going to break this down into chapters. The first chapter for tomorrow is record warmth. Let's talk more about that. Here's what we're talking about for tomorrow. Records in Lincoln, 64, set back in 2002. Grand Island, 67, same story in Hastings. And again, all three of these were set back in 2002. We're going to blow these out of the water tomorrow, I think, as temperatures are going to be running 30 to 40 degrees above normal. We're talking a high of 70 degrees in Lincoln. That's where we're going to blow out of the water. We'll go just above in Grand Island and Hastings with a high of 68 degrees, 72 for high in Beatrice, same in Fairbury and Hebron. Your eyes may be drawn up to the winds. South out of the southwest, 15 to 35 miles per hour with the gusts over 50 miles per hour for tomorrow. That is chapter 2 of tomorrow's weather story. Some very high winds coming our way. Take a look at Stormcast starting tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Again, we'll start to notice the winds starting to pick up early tomorrow morning. We'll see them gusting over 30 miles per hour as early as 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. By noon, Stormcast is suggesting, and I will say of all the computer models we've got, this is one of the lower end forecasts by noon tomorrow, suggesting 40 to 50 mile per hour winds. These start to increase as we head towards mid to late afternoon, perhaps by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, this isn't from thunderstorms or from rain. This is just winds. Winds gusting 60 to 70 miles per hour, suggesting 64 in Lincoln at 4 o'clock. And keep in mind, sustained winds tomorrow upwards of 35 miles per hour. So we head towards 6 o'clock. Many of you heading home from work, we're still talking winds gusting at times 40 to as much as 60 miles per hour. And that will continue on into the evening. Through 9 o'clock, we'll see winds still gusting 40 and over. It's not until after midnight, more likely 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, the winds will start to back down below 30 miles per hour, setting us up for a chilly morning on Thursday. High wind warnings are in effect for the entire state of Nebraska and surrounding states. So if you've got plans to travel east or west on I-80 or north and south along I-29, especially if you've got a high-profile vehicle, hang on tight because the winds are going to be very treacherous outside. Now, Chapter 3 is the storm potential coming our way for tomorrow. Now, it's not set in stone that we will see storms tomorrow. Some of the computer models suggesting storms don't develop until they're in towards Iowa. This specific version of Stormcast suggesting storms beginning to develop out towards 2 o'clock near the Tri-Cities. This will keep drifting off to the east. The potential along this line would be for some strong winds, and I can't rule out the chance for an isolated tornado along this line either. While tornadoes are not very common in December, we do average about 1/10 of one tornado per for the month. But so we can't completely rule it out though as we go through the day tomorrow because of all the winds that are going on in the atmosphere. So the main threat will be wind. There is a low-end tornado threat, not much of a hail threat, and flooding threat won't be too much because this line will be moving very quickly if it does develop tomorrow afternoon, and that's something we will be watching tomorrow. Now, it's going to feel 50 to 60 degrees cooler by Thursday morning when you factor in wind chills because wind chills will probably could be in the teens Thursday morning. So we head towards the weekend, we'll have some cold mornings with temperatures into the teens. Saturday is probably going to be the coldest day of the stretch, high of 34 degrees. Starts to turn a little windy on Sunday, 47, and then we'll see temperatures in the middle to upper 40s as we head towards the holiday weekend.
Santa Claus has made our 10-day.
I noticed that. Exciting stuff. All right. Thank you very much, John. Well, not exciting. Another down day on Wall Street. The Dow dropping about 107 points, NASDAQ falling 176. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Tonight, the death toll after the historic tornado outbreak.
Finally, tonight, you usually try to sneak a peek at what's under the Christmas tree, but you never think about what might be lurking in the branches.
That is, unless you're this family in South Africa. Rob and Marcella found one of Africa's most venomous snakes hiding between the tinsel. It was a female boomslang. It's between 4 and 5 feet long. Boomslang's venom causes hemorrhages and can be fatal to humans in very small amounts. But they're shy and they rarely bite. A snake expert recovered the animal and it was safely released back into the wild.
You mean they didn't give it to somebody else as a present?
That's not the Christmas gift you want.
Yeah, right. All right. That's going to do it for us. Have yourself a great night.
World News Tonight is coming up next. We'll see you at 6.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Christensen Hearing Analytics.
It's Ernie's and Ceresco's Home for the Holiday Sale. Home is where the heart is, and home is what Ernie's does.